Shalom. I'm gonna give praises and all glory to Yahweh B'Shem Moshe, B'Shem Kakadosh. And yeah, man. This is get started, man.
Then Washington, D.C. must be swept clean. I believe entire neighborhoods probably need to be emptied, need to be bulldozed. I believe that there are places that are so crime-ridden and so infested that you just need to, you're just going to have to crack down. You're going to have to do the job, and you're going to have to get the crime out of Washington. That's my personal experience. Don't believe the bullshit that you hear online. What happened to D.C., especially during the civil rights period, was that protesters that were bussed up here stayed here. The city was burned to the ground. This happened during massive riots throughout the 60s and 70s. Mass swaths of the city were torched and were never really rebuilt. It is one of the worst, most racist narco states and welfare states imaginable. In that neighborhood that I would walk every single day, racial epithets were screamed at us. Rocks were thrown at us because we were white people. This city is a sunken place. It is an unsafe place. I mean, if that's what happens to me, imagine what happens to somebody who's visiting here from a foreign country. Right? It's totally and wholly unsafe and a scar on the face of our country. And it must be healed. And President Trump is going about that heavy work.
I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful Capitol was, with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way, because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. We're going to replace the medians that are falling down all over the roads. We're going to replace the potholes. We're going to put a nice new coat of asphalt over the top, and we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. Caravans of mass youth rampage through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that the Navy Yard. I saw it this morning. They saw that they fought back against. Well, see, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night. And they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've instructed them and told them whatever happens, they love to spit in the face of the police. As the police are standing up there in uniform, they're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face. And then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they get hit real hard. We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. And we have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. We're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll clean up. We'll never be an asset to society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. But some of these people, a lot of them are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today. that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. They were rough and tough. But we're rougher and tougher. Look at these people here. Nothing, they're not going to be your local school teacher. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times. They're not going to be an asset. They will never be an asset to society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed.
Yeah, man. So if I last that day is great. Certain none is like it. And great going into wow. The last of that day is great. Meaning all the bad things that happen, it won't come close to Jacob's trouble, as it says, so that none is like it. You see in the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Going into the saints, man. Ezekiel 21:9, it says, Son of man, prophesy, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shad, see a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? The content of the blood of my son is every tree. And even then, that sword being Esau, is out here being, what's the word, upgraded. And you have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and is furbished, to give into the hand of the slayer, crying, Hail, Son of Man, for it shall be upon my people, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel, terrors by reason of the sword, shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. Psalm 17:13, it says, Arise, O Yahweh Shemel Shai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And then we can go on into Malachi. Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we shall return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, being Yahweh Shemel Shai, they shall build what I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Literally, the border going into the beginning, man. The front. Just like when you have a picture frame. Literally, if you look at the border of what's it called, man? The border of forgot the word. Yes, so imagine the picture, the border of it being the outside. But yeah, it says the border of wickedness, so the beginning of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord, being Yahweh Shemel Shai, have indignation forever. So yeah, man, Job 9 and 24, and it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, being these Edomites. He corrupt the faces of the judges thereof, being the real Israelites. If not when, who is he? uh, I wonder where it is. I've forgotten it, man. But what was the other scripture? Going into Esau, Chase. Here we go. Job 13:5, it says, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief. Yes, and that's because they were thieves, always stealing, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Going to them cavemen, them dirty little cavemen. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. If it goes to the word braid, it goes into grunting or making sounds, just like these cavemen. But yeah. And we can't forget about the second address at. Second address 9. Second address 9 and 9, it says, then shall there be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away here, they spitefully shall dwell in torments. Yeah, being those Israelites that have had a chance to gain this truth, but they didn't want it, or such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. And yeah, that's a lot of people. And they have loved my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet as place as repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. So And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved. This is the world is, and for whom the world is created. Then answered I and said, I have said before, meaning the past. I have said before, and now do speak. So again, this before being his present time, I should say the past tense. And now do speak, being what's the word, man? Where he is now, it's saying the same thing. And also, like it says, and will speak it also hereafter, meaning he was going to come back. He was going to reincarnate. Which basically means to come in another body. That there be many more of them which perish, and of them which shall be saved, like as a wave is greater than a drop. So yeah, man. A lot of people gonna die. And where was I gonna go again? It was in my head. Oh yes. Before time. Yeah, it says here before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and us go to the seer. For he that now is called a prophet was before time called a seer. Why? Because he could see the vision, man. He had the dreams. Where is it? Spoken by the prophets. Yes, Hosea 10 and 12. It might be 12 and 10. Yes, it says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So yeah, the Lord spake by his prophets, man. So anyone trying to come around talking about their prophet, or they spoke to God, no one never. He ain't give you no visions. And even then, the prophets of the 144,000. And even then, you have to be an Israelite. You have to be one of the sons of God. So then again, you got Muhammad. He ain't no prophet. He ain't an Israelite. He ain't one of the servants. You're mad. What was the old scripture, man? Jeremiah. Jeremiah 19. Is it 19 and 19? 9 and 19. Alright, that's not it. I'm gonna have to search it. Yeah, speech. Oh, what was the scripture, man? It's in my head. It's in my head. Deliver. Let me type in troop. Troop. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Jeremiah 18:18, it said, then said they come, and that's devices against Jeremiah. So basically, let us not listen to Jeremiah, and let's ignore his words. For the Lord shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue. Let us not give heed to any of his words. So, yeah, not going into Isaiah chapter 30, man. Which I'll get, actually, you know what? I'll get that now. Yeah, Isaiah 30:9 says that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So yeah, don't want to be lied to. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause all the honor of Israel to cease from before us. So basically, get out of here. This is wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise his word, and trust in oppression, and perverseness and stayed on. Therefore his iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. So yeah, man, they're gonna be let down, man. Especially when they go to get help from Egypt, or spiritual Egypt. Where is it? Yeah, verse 19. Give heed to me, O Yahweh Shema Shai, and hearken unto the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be a recompense for good? But they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before you to speak good for them, and to turn away the wrath, turn away thy wrath from them. So yeah, Jeremiah was out there to help, but obviously the two-thirds don't want to listen. He said, therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let the wise be bereaved of their children, and be widows, and let their men be put to death, and let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from the houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me, and hid snares for my feet. So yeah, entrapments, man. Yeah, they tried to trap him up. I said, yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me, to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out thy sin from thy sight. But let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them. In the time of thine anger, which again is Jacob's trouble, man. Which again is Jacob's trouble. That's when the Lord is going to execute all these judgments, man. You know, let me get this, man. Deuteronomy 32. And 35 it says, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. The foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord Yahweh shall judge his people, and repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. So yeah, they were trusting in those false gods, man. As it says here, and he shall say, where are their gods? The rock in whom they trusted. Which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. But even then, as you can see, the Lord's making fun of them. It says, see now that I am he, and there's no God with me, meaning there's no one like the Most High. There's no one like the Most High, man. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, meaning if I sharpen my glittering sword, or glittering sharpened, but and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh. And that with the blood of the slain of the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. So yeah, man, there's no escaping from the Yahweh Shem Hoshe. Also, another one, Psalms. Psalms 139 and 8. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Meaning the grave. It says, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the utmost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about thee, light about me. Yet the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the darkness and light are both alike to thee. Yeah, and this is the last one right here, man. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And the scripture be saying that the Israelites are the sons of God. Just imagine the eyes, man. You won't be able to see. That's insane. And it says, yeah, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. So essentially, there's no escape, man. If you're on the Lord's list, to be taken away, you're gonna get taken away. Even me, I can be taken away if I'm on the Lord's list. But yeah, man. All this is edifying. I'm gonna give you praise on and glory to Yahweh, but Shema Shah. But Shimra Kakadash and Shalom.